she said that she just couldn't see herself doing 10 more years of this, whatever this means. And she packed her things. And that was really, like, probably the only time in my life would...
Yeah. Welcome, everyone, to another fantastic podcast episode. I am Ryan McGee, joined here by my good friend, Matt Watson.
I came a little too early in that one. I came in a little too early in that one.
It's a problem for you, isn't it?
Come on, man.
In the sheets, huh?
Come on, dude.
We can't be talking about those sexual antics so early in the podcast. We might be censored, demonetized.
You gotta hold off on talking about your pre-ejaculatory mishaps at least until...
Whatever happened to free speech?
Why can't I talk about pre-ejaculation on the first fucking 2 minutes of my podcast? See, I just said the F word too.
What the heck?
It's no good.
I'm self-censoring.
I need to self-censor like those kids on TikTok. They put the little asterisk in every word, like murder or really any word.
I get it in terms of, okay, so I get censorship like that when it comes to trying to game the system algorithmically. Like you're talking, like you're a crime, right. TikTok, and you can't actually talk about what your business makes money on doing, which is crime, because it includes like murder and a bunch of other grotesque words.
If you type murder, the system will go, murder? You shouldn't talk about that on here. We're going to push you down.
That's not for kids.
Yeah. So I get the M asterisk RDE.
Yeah.
RDER. Sorry, I forgot how to spell murder for a second. The asterisk threw me off.
I just feel like if it's like that, as I said, for the algorithm stuff, trying to game it, that's fine. If it's for like trying to soften these words, it's like these words don't need to be softened. They're horrific acts.
When you read the word murder, it doesn't matter if there's an asterisk or not. You know exactly like what the word is.
There's a what's with all this soft language going on? Come on. I do think most of it is just to, as I said, game the algorithm, but there is a tinge of it that I do feel like is like, these are heavy subjects, so let's try to take away the power that they hold. They're like drumpifying these serious topics.
I think a better way to do it is just change it around. So instead of murder with the U censored, make it like schmurder, or just make it fun.
Yeah, schmurder.
If you want to take the power away from it, just make it schmurder. Or
murder schmurder. That's what every professional, well-trained criminal defense attorney has trained in their heads, ready to use in trial. Murder, schmurder, Your Honor.
And then just all you got to do to censor it, take the word. You could still type it out, but then just follow it with the same word again, but goofified. So it's like decapitation, schmapitation. No one can take it seriously. You take the power out of it way more than you do if you just censor a letter or a vowel.
Yeah, when people talk about murder, I want it to be goofified. I want it to be. I want to take the terrible act, the power that it has away. We're reclaiming murder. We're making it cool again.
We're taking that one back for ourselves.
We're making it not cool. We're making it not. I'm trying to think of a word.
No. I'm on the same page as you. I'm just trying to also think of a word. We're making it It's
not babified. I don't want to call anyone babies because we're not being babies about it. What
is the word we would use for this? We're not making it cool again, but we're making it
we're sanitizing it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
We're making it pure and fun again.
Also, just reminder: you got to stop eating that shit.
Okay. I whatever.
No, not whatever. Just it's not good. I wouldn't imagine it's great for you, and I've noticed that. On the cameras and stuff, it's fine. It's whatever. It's just it's just for your health. I'm not upset. I don't want you to think that I'm upset with you.
Kind of sounds like it.
I'm more worried than upset.
Okay, well you can be worried, but why do you have to be worried after we've already started recording? Why can't you do that? Because after the show or whatever.
Because maybe this
is embarrassing for me now.
Well, I'm just maybe the internet can come together and, like, tell you in the comments, maybe there's a lot of people who used to eat/drink or indulge themselves in some hand sanitizer, and maybe they can throw you like a little lifeline or a little, what is that, a buoy or a little life ring.
First of all, what does hand sanitizer do? It kills germs.
Yeah.
Do you want germs in your body?
No.
I know that it's what you would probably call fringe theory or pseudoscience, but guess what? You don't learn everything in books or on the internet. Sometimes, knowledge comes from within, and this is a piece of knowledge that came from within me. And also, I like quit drinking, but this is kind of like a loophole, right?
Oh,
because it's alcohol, so it's like
I like the idea of like high school kids before prom, like they're because I remember back in the day, it's like, don't use a mouthwash or you'll set off the breathalyzers. I like kids using a flask of hand sanitizer. See, it's just hand sanitizer.
It's just alcohol.
They go in the bathroom. Oh, fucking idiots! These adults don't know it. There's alcohol in this shit.
Like when the cops go through their backpack, they just see a couple bottles of Purex, and they're like, "Oh, no alcohol here."
Some clean students. I'm proud of my students.
Kids are giggling behind the officer's back, looking at each other, winking.
Idiots.
Dude, you want to go drink some Purex? No, I'm sorry, Purell. What's Pure?
Purex is, I think, an like germ thing.
No, there's another hand sanitizer that has X in it. There's Purell and then Durex. That's the condom brand, which is also good for sanitation. If you want to sanitize, your seed.
Purex is a musical band, alternative indie, active from 2009.
Would you get like a little bit twisted from having like a shot of hand sanitizer?
I would imagine that you probably would. Your body would reject it, like you would cough or gag a lot.
It's probably honestly like, so I'm pretty sure they do put like a bittering agent in there because they don't want people to drink it. Which, talk about fucking government like oppression.
Yeah.
Take the fucking bittering agent out of my hand sanitizer. If I want to drink it, I'll make that decision. They don't make that for me.
Talk about overstepping. It's like, give me the freedom. Sure, when I overstep my freedoms, which I don't think there's many cases where someone could overstep their freedoms. When I do overstep my freedoms, maybe rein me in. But, like, at least give me the right to, drink and drive.
Yeah.
To run through a crowd of people with a semi-truck. Just give me the option to have these freedoms. And, when someone goes off the rails, we'll slap them on the wrist. We'll go, no, that's not good. Or something like that, maybe.
I just want to be able to at least have the peace of mind that I have the freedom to do that. And I want to have the freedom to fucking make my own decision about drinking hand sanitizer to get twisted without the government.
Or drinking and driving.
That too. I mean, you could mix them together. Drinking hand sanitizer while driving.
Could be fun.
Probably. I kind of want to. Have you ever tasted hand sanitizer?
I feel like through smelling it.
Or like your hands after you do it, you end up licking.
Well, I haven't like
tasted.
I haven't gone, I'm sure I've inadvertently, some has entered my mouth.
I have I'm not gonna lie. There's a burning curiosity inside me now, because I want to know if it just tastes like how bitter is it? Does it burn?
No, you could find out if you wanted to. I can't. You're a grown fucking adult. He is leaving the chair. I think in pursuit of some hand some, as we like to say in the SuperMegaplex, some hand san, or some handy sanny or hand sanny. What do y'all call hand sanitizer in your office? Leave it in the comment section below. Hand san, sanny. What do you? Okay. Matt has brought some hand sanitizer with a little puddle in his hand, and because he's curious. He's like a child that sees a rusted nail and goes, I'd like to suck on that to see what sort of sour flavors I can indulge myself in. The curiosity is really breaching through Matthew's brain. He's sniffing it.
It smells like I'm getting twisted today. I'm going to go ahead and just give it a little taste test.
Okay, yeah.
Don't try this at home unless you want to, but I'm just going to give it just a tiny little tongue in. Just a little.
Yeah, you got a glob on your. How was that? What? What the hell? Come on, give us a review. Now, don't you think they should maybe make them like how's the consistency, the texture, how's the flavor? What notes are you feeling?
Oh, wow. Now I see why they say for external use only. That was disgusting. It first thing I noticed was the texture actually before the flavor or anything. I felt the goop like texture.
It stuck to your tongue in a glob. Yeah,
I felt the texture, and that was actually like immediately really gross to me. And then it just immediately started just burning. And the thing was the alcohol and the whatever other chemical bittering agent is in it to make it taste bad, just instantly like spread through my mouth to the back of my throat. Just like the vapors of it, I think, just went. And on top of it, there's like some, I don't know what scent they added to this. It's got something like, I think it's citrus or something. That like fake flavor just kind of also.
There are no scientific studies to show there are negative adverse effects from drinking hand sanitizer. It kills the germs inside you that are bad.
Seriously, guys, again, it's a medical condition. You can't help it.
Drinking hand sanitizer?
Can he help licking my nuts?
No, he can't, because those things are just too dang sweet.
Yep. And here's a real-life picture, and I promised him that I wouldn't share it, but he's gone a little too far. Here's a picture of RFK Jr. sucking my nuts. It's censored, of course, because we can't show that on YouTube. But on the Patreon, also for legal purposes, we'll see if we can go it through. But just know that behind the censor, that's what's happening.
I saw it. I've seen the picture uncensored, and I can verify that it is real.
Yeah, you made a copy, put it in your wallet, which I told you, no copies. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna like send it to anyone. It's in my wallet. You know. I think it's more trustworthy. Like, I feel like you can trust me more knowing that I have a physical one in my wallet than if I were to have the digital file, right? Because the digital file, I could get hacked and someone could have it, or I could spread it, and then once you spread it, someone else has it. What are they going to do with it? They can spread it. But if it's just in my wallet, it's not going anywhere.
Hey, you make good points.
That's why they call me Good Points Watson.
I mean, you call yourself Good Point Watson. You've been trying to get it to stick for a while now, and no one's really taken it. Well, okay, the gas station attendant has started. He just says Lucky Matt.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's saying.
It's catching on to some degree.
It's sweet. I appreciate it. It's kind of just hard to tell.
Yeah.
What he's missing.
I mean, he noticed
several
Luke
front
and I
teeth.
like giving you a hard time about it, so he's trying to give you a win.
I appreciate it. It's very sweet.
And we all need a win in life. These advertisers need a win because their products.
Right, stop.
Gotcha. So, what's good in the hood?
Doc, nothing much. Like What's Up, Doc, like from the Looney Tunes.
I thought it was a Dr. Disrespect reference.
I'm gonna go see the new Captain America today. Captain America. Okay, hold on. Before we go further, Steve Rogers or Sam Wilson?
I don't know who either one of them are, but I'm more of a Steve Rogers guy myself because it's two characters from American Dad,
Okay.
Steve and Roger.
The white one. Interesting.
I don't know who either. I don't know what they look like.
I'm a Sam Wilson head myself. He was in the Twisted Metal movies.
Well, I like Wilson because it's the name of the volleyball in Castaway.
And Wilson Fisk is a bad guy in the Spider-Man movies who wears a suit and is rich.
And Wilson's also the name of a hater that used to email us. So.
And Wilson is also the brand of baseball mitts.
And the brand
Miller? Is it Wilson?
No, it's Wilson because
Okay.
they also make the volleyball, which is why he calls it Wilson in Castaway.
Yep.
Full circle.
Tom Hanks, the voice of Woody in Toy Story. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I thought we were doing
playing the connections game?
Yeah.
And in Toy Story, there is also Buzz Lightyear, who is famously named after Buzz Aldrin, who went to the moon and punched a reporter who questioned the validity of the moon landings.
Look at that.
Yeah,
That
nice.
was all right.
But back to the meat and potatoes. You stunned me before we started recording this episode because you said, sorry, let me lean forward so you can see me better. I'm not hiding behind this little computer monitor.
Yeah, scared of eye contact?
A little bit. You said, oh, after we're done with the podcast, I'm going to go see a movie today. And I was like, oh, what movie? And, I mean, this movie is... I'm surprised you're going to see it, to be honest.
Well, I brought my sleeping mask just in case, it gets a little too intense. I can quickly just...
Yeah, and it doesn't look like you're being like a pussy or anything.
Yeah,
it's
just
like,
show
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I just
wanna
recorded
sleep.
a podcast with my friend, so I'm just going to catch a few Z's.
I just want to... Just for myself, I just want to get, I just want to get a look at a Red Hulk. And, I just want to see for myself, because people talk about the Red Hulks. They talk about them all the time of how dangerous they are, how it could lead to catastrophes worldwide.
Yep.
And I feel like you don't get there's ever a rare chance you get to see a Red Hulk with your own two eyes. So I figured I could take that chance, and I am putting my heart health at line because I could have a heart attack from how scared and
That's what
from
I'm
how
saying,
fearful
dude.
I'll be.
Are you sure that you're ready to see a Red Hulk?
If Sam Wilson can stand wing to fist with the Red Hulk, because Sam Wilson is the Captain America that has wings, because he used to be the Falcon, which was the sidekick of Captain America, but now he's Captain America.
Wait, how did he become Captain America?
Because Captain America
Is it like a lineage,
went
or
back
is it
in-
like you pass the title on?
Yeah, because Captain America went back in time and became old in the present time because he stayed back in time instead of staying in the current time. So he grew to get old because he stayed back in time.
Did he fall in love? Is that why you stayed back in time? Really?
He fell in love and danced with a woman.
I figured that's the only reason a man will stay back in time is if he falls in love with a bodacious 1940s babe.
So then he gave the Captain America shield to Sam Wilson, and now Sam Wilson has the mantle, and he works with Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier with the big metal arm, and he has a past because he killed Tony Stark's parents at one point, and then
Damn.
Captain America lied to Iron Man and said that he didn't know what happened to his parents. I don't know who killed your parents, but he actually did know, which caused the Civil War, if you remember. Marvel
That's what
Avengers
caused the Civil War?
Yeah.
I thought it was states' rights or something.
No, but that's when they introduced Spider-Man, who's played by Tom Holland, whose
You're
girlfriend
right.
is Zendaya, who was in the movie Challengers, which I think got snubbed quite a
She's
bit
going-
at the
she's going
Oscars.
like that in the movie. I'm serious. There's a threesome scene. That wasn't like derogatory or like because she's a woman or anything. That was literally just that's what she does in one scene. There's two beautiful young men that she engages in sexual pleasures with.
She also starred in a black and white movie that went on Netflix with Denzel Washington's son, Tyler Washington.
Really? You could be making every single thing up you're saying about everything right now, and I just wouldn't even question it.
He pretends to eat her out in the movie. I say pretend because unless he actually did.
Yeah, and I don't think there's many movies where they actually do the sex act. There's a couple. There's a Wikipedia page for it, actually, for movies where the sex stuff is real. But typically on set, they tend to not engage in cunnilingus. How do they fake that stuff? Do they just have to get really close? It's like, all right, pretend to eat her pussy.
They put the merkin is the fake pubic hair above the muff.
Muff.
But I think they just probably put like a thin, probably like silicone thing there and just pan to go have at it.
Go hog wild on that fake pussy.
Be like Havarti and have at it.
What? Fuck. So I pretend to eat it out then. Is that what you mean? Yeah, whatever.
Well, the left, they tried to take away comedy. They tried to make comedy illegal. Like what? What? That's crazy. Like that chainsaw of bureaucracy.
I like that.
Okay, everyone, give it up for Elon. Woo! He's funding us, guys. Come on.
Honestly, that felt like a amalgamation of Elon Musk, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and what was his name? Dean, Howard Dean, or
Dean?
Howard Dean. Who was the guy that he ran for president and he did the scream and ruined his campaign?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say Elon did that same scream recently when he was holding up the chainsaw. You heard it, right?
I have not seen this actually.
Hold up. He did the same scream. And do I hear people going crazy about it? No. Matt, let me show you. And Luke, you can show an example at the same time. Let me see if I can. Unfortunately, we're going to have to watch this man. No, not Elizabeth Banks.
Is that a new member of the FaZe clan?
Chainsaw. This is Dutch. You know?
I hadn't seen that one. Thank you for enlightening me.
This is the chainsaw of bureaucracy.
You know what I'll say?
Chainsaw. Just verbatim quote.
Yeah, that was pretty spot on.
I'm not adding anything.
You know, here's what I have to say on the matter. Elon Musk, more like see my nuts.
Elon Musk, more like Elon's muff.
There you go, dude. Imagine him on stage at CPAC. And he drops his slacks, and he has a beautiful pussy.
Well, not just a beautiful pussy, Matt. An incredibly gorgeous bush.
Oh, my God.
We're talking the bush where some of the hair is on the thigh a little bit.
Oh, yeah, and it's like going down both sides of the labia. And he's sitting there with those glasses on and his dark MAGA hat, and he's going, what do you think of the pussy of my muff? And everyone stands and does a standing ovation as he's sitting there just kind of...
This is what the left wants of us. Everyone's standing there like...
They're just... Is that face like they're drooling because they're so like...
I guess, well...
enamored by the muff?
Well, knowing the Republicans, yes, some of them are getting ready to go to some hotel rooms soon.
Elon Muff? That's fantastic, dude. Elon Muff is the... That might be our... You might have just basically capped us out for the year for 2025 right there.
Dude, if Cheeto Fingers and Drumpf took down Donald J. Trump, then Elon Muff is going to be the thing that destroys the I don't know, the fandom of Elon.
Guys, let's go ahead and get hashtag Elon Muff trending. Go ahead and tweet him some pictures of vaginas with hashtag Elon Muff. What? No? Go ahead and tweet Elon, just call him gay or something. I don't know.
Call him gay?
That would bother him. You know it would.
Probably would.
He's the type of guy that would get really bothered if someone called him gay.
Whatever you say, I have glue.
I know I am, but what are you?
Oh, man.
I'll
wake up a lot of the times and I'll see like I'll have to go. What's the recent update? What's the?
I have to stop, dude. Like I have like news alerts turned on, like notifications, and then usually when I wake up, one of the first things I'll do is I'll just kind of like go on the internet and just kind of see what's new, because you know the West Coast is 3 hours behind. So by the time you and I are waking up at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m., whatever, it's like. It's already, the afternoon is well into play over in Washington, D.C., or just the other side of the country. So there's been plenty of time for news to happen. So I wake up and I'm like, well, let's see what's happened today so far. And it just always, it gets me down a little bit. And it gets me angry. I go,
U.S. siding with Russia? Huh? U.S. siding with Russia?
And North Korea.
I will say, I told you there was this man. We'll get off the politics. Blah, 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 blah. Let us speak our shit. Let us speak our shit, king, queen, whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna spit some tea. North Korea.
Yeah. But the biggest thing for me where I was like, gee, what is going on was when I told you this. It's when it was Trump, Vance, and Elon all in a single day just started dogpiling on like Ukraine and Zelensky. Just like, he's a dictator. The people hate him there. He's
saying he shouldn't have started the war.
Saying he's just an actor or he's a comedian. And I'm like, guys, like, come on, you can't.
The country got invaded.
It's in. Apparently, it's coded in law that there shall be no elections during wartime in Ukraine. So it's not that he's just like, we're not holding elections till the war's done, and is just trying to hold off the war. Russia invaded Ukraine. You do have people coming into the conversation.
Ukraine's not holding the war off by any means.
They only invaded because Ukraine was going to break their promise of NATO or something like that. And that's the argument that I see in terms of people kind of like, well, technically Russia didn't start it. It was Ukraine because they're not keeping a promise because
unlike Russia, who's known to keep their promises. But the United Nations held a vote to like condemn Russia for invading Ukraine, and the only countries that voted against it were Russia, North Korea, and the United States.
Woo! And there was another one, Belarus, which
is pretty much just like
aiding Russia.
They're just like a little mole that's growing on Russia.
Yeah,
because they have what's his name, Lukashenko or something. I forgot his last name, but he's president of Belarus, and he's a little dum-dum.
It's just crazy seeing the American people drop, trow, and bend over for Mother Russia. I did not think I'd see the day where people so proudly did so.
I know.
Interesting. They're just crazy times.
What happened to the arms race? You know, when they would blow up a bomb in the middle of the woods, and we'd go, and we'd blow up a bigger bomb out in the Pacific, and then they would go, hold on a second. They blow up an even bigger bomb out in the woods, and then it just kept going. What about that? Was fun. That was like a fun contest. And now it's they're also, I don't like it anymore. I want to go back to when we were feuding with them. It was fun.
Elon, go on.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
No,
finish. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Elon looks like he's trying to start a war so that what happens during the war? Another space race comes out, the first one to Mars, and he's trying to create a de facto way where he's forced to man a mission to Mars. I think it should be a one-man mission, and he should go and I think he should have that point of history. He should put that flag down on Mars. He should go there on his own and be like, I'm the first man on Mars. And I think I would be very happy. That would be so cool of him to do that.
I'd be really proud of him. I'd be happy for him. The first crew that goes, I think we said this in a recent, like, last episode or something, but first crew that goes, they're not coming back. They're going there, like, with...
What?
They're fully well aware that they're going there to die.
If people go, they don't return? Oh, I don't know. But it would still be cool if Elon Musk was the first person on Mars.
I mean, that would be big for him.
Right? I mean, he's just going to let someone else take that title from him? This has been his dream, right?
I know. Do you think the first person to step foot on Mars has already been born? Do you think that they're currently... I mean, they could be, they could be a megahead, for all we know.
I mean, yeah, for all we... it's the first... the potential is there. The likelihood of that, I said this last podcast, and I listened to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about it, and he essentially came to a conclusion, which I guess I can agree with, and see why he thinks so. We're not going to go to Mars anytime soon because there's not some big push, like some military. There's
I
not
agree with
some,
him.
Yeah,
it's just like. That is such a monumentally massive mission that requires so much money.
To whose benefit?
Yeah, and there's not really... Like the space race, the whole benefit was like, who can get in orbit first, because then you have superiority with satellites, whatever. And then it's like, who can go to the moon first? And then Mars, there's not really like a race to get there.
No one wants Mars
until we find out there's like oil on Mars or something. Or also, like, it is honestly just so difficult to go to Mars that it's just like,
I mean,
even if we were super locked in on going to Mars, it wouldn't happen in the next like 5 probably even 10 years. It takes a long time to get that ready, and then the trip there itself is pretty long.
I think you're onto something with if there was oil on Mars. I think if there was oil, if there was maybe even a race of underground Martians that are kind of meek and they can't really defend themselves, we would love to ship them on over to the U.S. to start making us sweaters.
That'd be pretty cool, honestly. Or make them on Mars for cheaper.
Made by Martians. Dude, so many people would buy shit just because they were made by Martians. I mean, they're going to just exist in the same sweatshops that exist today, of course.
Yeah, but you know me. I 100% would buy something. If it's like, oh, this is made by a Martian, absolutely.
Instead of made in China, it's made by Martian.
And I would proudly wear it. Yeah, it might be like sweatshop stuff, but it's pretty cool.
These Martians were shipped here and they're stealing our jobs. Send them back to Mars.
I think they should all get on a big rocket ship and go back home. Honestly,
when we're the ones that stole them and brought them here in the first place.
Sounds familiar. You know what's actually so weird to think about? Humans,
Cotton candy.
That is weird to think about. How does it just fucking do that and look like that?
That's not what you were talking about, is it, though?
It actually is.
Oh.
That's the weird thing.
Okay.
It's like you read my mind or something. But at some point, humans will be on Mars, I'm assuming, unless, like, I don't know, so we get hit by an asteroid or nuke ourselves or something. But that means that everything you and I are making, these podcast episodes, our little goofy skits and Let's Plays, those are preserved, like, digitally on the internet. And people will probably, at least someone will watch them after we die. I wonder if anyone will ever watch or listen to this very episode on another planet one day.
Well, in the time that we're more, I mean, I think, all our digital footprint will be the new skeletons, potentially, maybe.
That's a really profound way of looking at it.
When aliens come back, it won't be our bones that they're looking at. It'll be old hard drives that they have some fucking alien thing that can read it. The thing is, I don't know how they're going to replicate, being able to read information too.
Well,
but
it makes
they're
me
aliens, so.
If they could get here, then they could probably figure out a way to read it. But it also makes me wonder, like, how long, what is the shelf life of, like, data? Like, if humans went extinct, you have all the, like, hard drives that have files and videos and whatever on it. But, like, eventually those will break down to the point that they're not readable.
Like the internet. Like in the apocalypse, what happens to all that info? Like, is it just gone? Yeah. I mean, I guess you'll still have, of course, libraries, and you'll have physical media strewn about, all that type of shit. But in terms of, like, internet stuff, like hard drives and...
Yeah, but hard drives would eventually break down.
Hard drives don't last long either.
No. I mean, honestly, even hard drives, like, that we use now. Like, I have an old hard drive from... back when I was in high school that doesn't even work anymore. It's like I plug it in and...
You can hear the fan even? Did you hear the fan spin at all?
Yeah. Like it turns on and it lights up. It just won't recognize it because I think it's a little too old. Or it's just hard drive is dead. But maybe there's a way to fix it. I don't know. I don't really care. But I do wonder, like, how does data get preserved? If the internet were to go zoinks... Is all that shit gone? Are there backups of... I know the individual companies keep backups. Like YouTube has a backup that I believe is like writes over itself, so it's not like a backup of like everything ever. It keeps updating itself, but I'm pretty sure they do have a... Nah, I thought I heard that, but that also would be such an insane amount of data.
Uh-huh.
Ads.
So, Matthew.
Ryan.
Let's talk about space.
Yes!
Let's talk about, you asked me, do you think there's a possibility that another person on another planet will watch us one day? That only exists in, like... Because we were talking about you don't think that Mars or going to other planets would be a part of any sort of like space race, or do you think it would just be to the point where technology has escalated to where then there is like space tourism, to where like hundreds of years from now it's more of just kind of like go to Mars, come by and like we'll go by on our ship. We'll fly by for 20 minutes while having a lunch, and then we'll zoom right back to Earth.
I feel like space tourism will become a thing probably in our lifetime, but not going to Mars. It'll just be like going up, and
not even hundreds of years from now.
Maybe hundreds of years. But the thing is, going to Mars it's so expensive and takes so much time. You know, it's not like a little trip where it's like you get on and then go. And also, you can only go to Mars like every 4 years because of the way the planets. Because there's times when Mars like passes close to us, and that's when they go to it. But there's other times where it'll be on the other side of the sun from us. So like think about how far the distance can be and how close it can be. So they have to time it. And like when they're sending like a probe to Mars, they time it in advance. So they launch it so it'll get to that point like by the time Mars orbits closely. But it just takes ages to get there. I don't know how long it takes exactly, but it's weeks.
We're really gonna let that robot steal all the fame. Going there, like sitting on Mars, singing its songs.
It's already doing that. They've already done that, which is bullshit since like the 70s.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
They can't even get a person up there. I want to see a person riding around on a four-wheeler with an American flag on the back, doing donuts.
Mars can be the 51st state. And actually, here's the thing. You know, they've sent robots there that have driven around for years, just tooting around Mars. They can't put a person in there.
They're even singing songs and shit, man.
I know.
They're having fun.
Zippity doodah.
Zippity,
blasting it out on Mars.
Was it zippity doodah they were doing?
It's not racist on Mars.
I guess. Because, well, I wonder if there ever existed
life
on Mars to an extent of, like, not microorganisms, something bigger.
I think that there technically has been enough time
even
for...
like little minnows.
Yeah, no, I think that there's been enough time, technically. And Mars used to have, like, oceans and lakes and stuff.
What was in those oceans?
Dude, Mars used to have, like a pretty similar atmosphere, and it had liquid water and like a nice temperate climate, like and then its atmosphere went and it got all radiated and BS. But
is Mars our future?
There was a point when there were so many, like there was water and everything that like if the right things were there, they have found on Mars like all the like a lot of the prereqs for life, like the right chemicals and amino acids and stuff, where it's like in the right conditions, this could turn into life, potentially.
Just not in present conditions.
Actually, there is...
Not for us.
No. Humans would die very quick. Not anything would survive. But they think that there could possibly be, like, bacteria underground on Mars. And they did this test, and this one is, like, crazy to me. Because there is this... I forgot what it is, but it's basically, like, in this soil, they... added some chemical, and basically on Earth, if you like put that on soil, the microbes and the bacteria will break it down and convert it into like a different type of gas or something. I'm on the right track. I might be getting very like the specifics
Is this for
of
gardening in Mars.
Yeah. No, but they did this test, and basically the only way for that other like gas to appear would be if like an organic organism like a microbe broke it down, and it did. Like the gas appeared, and that only happens on Earth when microbes break it down. But they never like were able to conclusively, because it happened on Mars, they weren't able to like look at it and be like, yeah, that's life. So they had that like that evidence, that experiment, but then they just kind of moved past it.
I just think about like, imagine the wonder if all of a sudden it's like we get photos of a planet, and obviously maybe it's uninhabited like a Mars, but you see like. Imagine if when you get photos back from Mars, you saw just kind of like old kind of structures that are like long and forgotten. This world, the life on that planet is long and gone, but you saw at least proof of like something else. I think that's what a lot of people get excited about too, like space and shit. That's one of the main things that draws us is like, yes, aliens is fun to talk about, but just in general, just generalized life out there. Like it would be cool to see that there was some example of a civilized communal species that existed. And I know there probably is, but
dude, we're probably never going to see it in our lifetime.
Probably not. For me, it's like, I just, not even like sentient beings, but like even if they just found like microbes or like little plants or fungus or something, like that would be the coolest thing in the world to me. And I feel like 100% there at some point was some life on Mars that not like people walking around type shit, but like maybe some tiny little multicellular organisms, or maybe just like little single cellular things. But I don't know, dude. I mean, we don't really know until we go there.
Yeah, I mean, we only have theories and scientific, whatever to go by. And well, mine being the most famous, the hollow Mars theory, which still has not been disproven.
Nope,
technically. So,
honestly, if we did find out that there had been life though on Mars, then that would mean that I think that would be like big, because that would mean that there's probably life everywhere in the universe. Because if it happened twice in one solar system separately, then that means the chances of it like forming elsewhere is just so super high. So I mean, I do think there probably is like billions of planets with life on it out there. It's just space is so fucking big, and we won't know because it's too far away. But
what is the closest planet to Earth
in our solar system?
Yeah, is it
Mercury?
Okay.
Well, it changes, but
how like what's the quickest we could get to the closest planet in our solar system?
Well, Mercury is like the hardest planet to get to for some reason. I don't remember why. I just know it's like insanely difficult to get to Mercury, even though it does pass by and become like for a portion of the year it is the closest planet.
I guess this is leading to a hypothetical. Just like if you had to get from A to B, the closest planet, would it still be like 20 years? 15 years.
Like if we had to,
if someone had to go to
today, they're like, we need to go now.
We're going to go visit this planet. How long would it take from takeoff to arrival?
Oh, you mean like how long would it take to get there? I guess it depends.
Is it like equivalent to Mars, or is it at least shaved a good bit? I don't know how much closer Mercury is.
I guess it depends. I mean, I think it would still take weeks at the minimum to get to the closest planet.
Because, like, I guess I'm thinking about, there's got to be, of the trillions, all the big-ass number of different solar systems and planets out there, there's got to be, like, in some galaxy, there's got to be a solar system that exists where there's two planets that are close to each other, that know of each other, that exist as neighbors.
Totally.
Almost like countries exist on our world. It's almost like each planet maybe consists of that.
And they trade and
much
shit.
of diverse thing, yeah. But
or
it's
they
like,
war. Totally. But I think just, I know it sounds so like fantastical, where it's like no way that's real, but it's just like with the sheer number of planets and solar systems and galaxies, it's like that has to exist at least once somewhere. And it's like because the number of planets in the universe is like 27 zeros behind the number. Like that's a lot of planets. That's a whole lot of planets.
Alone in the universe.
And life is really resilient, like tardigrades, those little tiny.
Just look at Charlie Sheen.
Exactly. I was watching interviews from his 2011 meltdown last night.
Tiger's blood.
I watched that whole interview last night. I was just like, I just remembered it, and I was like, what a week that was in like 2011 or 2012, whenever that was. That like dominated the news that week, and I sat down and I just watched the interview as an adult, because as a kid it was like funny and it was meme worthy, but I was curious, like as a grown up now, sitting down and watching
like a human perspective.
Yeah, like from another adult watching it and like seeing what's going on, just made me cringe really hard.
He's a wizard.
He's got Adonis DNA. He's got tiger's blood. It's like if he were to take his brain, click it into your head, you would give it right back and say, well, dude, I can't handle that. It's too much.
It would be like Limitless.
Yeah, 100%. We need like a Charlie Sheen pill,
The limit is it's the Sheen pill.
Yeah, you take the Sheen pill.
Dude, you'll get Sheen pilled, baby.
I'm so Sheen pilled. Like, just fucking, I'm banging 7-gram crack rocks. That would kill most people, but me? No, I can definitely bang 7-gram crack rocks. That's how I roll. Winning.
Crackers in their crack, you know what I'm saying? Well, crackers in their meth.
Crackers love meth.
You know what? And I'm not trying to say anything or start anything, Matthew. You know me. I'm not trying to. I'm just saying, if you look at the statistics, just these if you look at the statistics, it just shows that a lot of these whites are committing most of the crime in this country, and it's making me worried. I don't feel safe in this blessed U.S. of A. when we have all these crackers running amok committing crime, look at every crime statistic and they're at the top of it. Something's up. Something's up with these whiteys.
It's the meth.
Right? Like these drug-addled crackers are going around causing violence and mayhem everywhere they go, everywhere they step. It's just nothing but crime. Like, as I said, look at the statistics. A majority of crime is committed by
crackers.
Yep. I just don't know how to feel safe in a country when the a majority of its of its citizens, crackers, are essentially full-blown terrorists.
You know, I wasn't lying when I said crackers love their meth.
No, you
crackers
were not.
Love their meth, dude.
They can't get enough.
No, I mean meth it's fantastic. You can't get enough once you've tried the stuff.
It's a cultural thing with them, isn't it? This meth, these drug
100%.
problems, and then like
it's a culture problem.
Yeah,
100%.
They need to figure it out themselves.
Dude, Cracker is such a funny. I wish we could rebrand as like the Cracker Brothers, the Cracker Lovers,
The funny crackers.
Funny Crackers. Yeah.
The cracking up with crackers.
Ooh.
Cracking up with the crackers. Cracking up with the Cracker Brothers.
Cracking up with the Cracker Brothers. That's really that has like a flow to it in a ring.
Cracking up at the Cracker Barrel with the Cracker Brothers.
On meth. You thought I was going to say on crack? Nope. Us crackers don't use crack. We use methamphetamine.
Mm-hmm. And opiates.
See, methamphetamine and opiates, that's a rich man's drug. That's a white boy's drug, you know? I'm not fiddling with that crack, but that methamphetamine and those opiates, woo! Good stuff. Have you ever been around someone on meth? No, that makes it sound like, have you ever hung out with someone on meth? I mean, like...
I have seen people that are obviously, unfortunately, under the firm, tight grip of drug addiction. They're friends, family. They amongst you as strangers in the streets. They're all around you.
There might be a cracker
Like
on
the
meth
Red Scare.
amongst your ranks.
Yeah, you never know who the meth addict is in your friend group. He could be your sister, your mother, your teacher,
I will say
even your boss.
With meth, it's probably pretty easy to tell who the meth addict is amongst the group.
Yeah, they're usually white.
Yeah, and it tends to fuck you up pretty bad. You'll be screaming and getting angry, and your teeth will fall out, and you'll kind of look like me, honestly. You'll get the really dark circles, and I'm not on meth, is what I'm saying.
You'll be fiending for carrots.
It's a weird side effect.
You'll be fiending for some goddamn carrots. If you start on meth, you'll just want nothing but carrots.
You'll kill a cracker for carrots.
Yeah, you will.
You'll kill a fellow cracker just to get a couple crunches of that sweet orange.
And let me tell you something about crackers, especially Jimmy Cracker Corn.
I don't care.
Jimmy Cracker Corn? It was Jimmy Crack Corn.
And I don't care.
Is his last name Crackhorn? Crackhorn?
No, I think it's an action he did. It's like Jimmy cracked corn, and I don't care.
What is cracked corn?
I don't know, dude. All those like rhymes from back then just made no sense.
Jimmy crack corn and I don't care.
Yeah.
Jimmy crack corn and I don't care.
Yeah.
Jimmy crack corn and I don't care.
Which nobody can deny. I don't know. I probably
sounds
mixed
right.
two of them together.
Sure. Yeah.
No, I just mixed up the ending of he's a great guy and we know it. I don't know, dude. There's so many.
He's a jolly good fellow.
Yes.
For he's a jolly good fellow.
That's what it is.
I'm looking up why did Jimmy crack corn?
I wouldn't look it up because I don't care. You obviously care right now, and it's embarrassing.
What is the meaning behind Jimmy crack corn? That original lyrics were "Gimme cracked corn," and referred to a punishment in which a slave's bacon rations were curtailed, leaving him chicken feed.
Wow. I mean, I guess I should have expected that.
I don't think we should sing that anymore,
dude. It's kind of embarrassing how you actually care about Jimmy cracking corn.
Well, I'm glad I did care because now that we found out that information, it probably saved it because we'd probably be singing that all the time.
What I like is to go back to earlier in the episode, we were talking about sanitizing things. I like how there would be these like horribly dehumanizing like racist nursery rhymes, and instead of just like stopping them, it's like, well, let's just change a word or two.
Oh yeah, like
Jimmy cracked corn.
Where's the catch a tiger by his toe?
Let's just guys. I mean, here's the thing. It's such a good little
Markiplier
nursery rhyme.
started that one.
Yeah, unfortunately. it's just such a good nursery rhyme. I mean, we can't just get rid of it. I mean, just change a word. Just what's a word that's kind of like it, but
no, don't change the imagery. Just change the word and keep the imagery.
No, just flip just change those letters. Great, it's about an animal now.
Woohoo! We did it.
And still to this day, it's there's a couple that are purely innocent, like Rockabye Baby, but it's about a baby up in a tree and then the wind blows and it falls to its death.
There's the Ring Around the Rosie about the what is it? The plague?
Yes. A pocket full of fucking posies, dude. We all fall down.
Yeah.
That's pretty
ashes,
deep.
Ashes. We all fall down.
Damn, dude. That is weird how it's like you just teach kids that to sing it and it's fun and it has a real fucking dark. So that's a YouTube video essay, like the dark truth behind Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah, and I didn't even, like the old story with like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Mm-hmm.
Bleep this out, Luke. But I didn't know at the time what it meant. But and just make sure you took care of that because that's one of the worst things. I didn't know what it meant.
I didn't know that
recently.
either. That's messed up.
I smell the blood of a Englishman.
Oh my god! I can't believe people still tell that story.
Yeah.
What about Jack and Jill? They went up the hill.
Fetch a pail of water.
What happened next?
Jack fell down and broke his crown, like his tooth.
Mm-hmm.
No, his head. The crown of his.
It's open to interpretation,
of course.
But that's not the end of it.
No, because Jill came tumbling after.
It's a shame.
Down came the rain and washed the spider out.
That's about gentrification.
I'm sure you can connect it to gentrification in some way.
The dark meaning behind these nursery rhymes you never knew.
What are those?
London Bridge is falling down. Falling down. Which nobody can deny, and I don't care.
My fair lady. Or is that the one about the plague?
No. Ring Around the Rosie is about the plague.
Okay,
it's about some death-inducing mass thing.
What's the London Bridge one?
It's about London Bridge falling down
during war, maybe. During the what were those?
The London Bridge caught the plague.
What were those raids called?
Those raids?
World War II in France. They were bombing the shit out of France or something.
I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember what it was called though. It was there was a name.
There was a name. Who cares? No, but they went.
Wasn't me.
The big British boom.
Were they just called the air raids?
They were the big British booms and bangs.
I thought they were called something, but I'm just looking it up, and it's just the Allies bombed France for years, killing 57,000 French civilians.
Damn.
Yeah. I thought there was like an event where it was like
there
was one like. I know they were bombing them, but I thought there was one particular one where it was just like, damn, they're bombing civilian territory. This is brutal.
Like one bomb run where it's like, let's just fucking go all out. It definitely was, and I don't remember by which side or who it was against, but I do remember learning about like one particular. There was one on Tokyo that was like real bad, where they just like flew over and just firebombed everything.
Well, they did more than that.
They did a little more than that, yeah.
In Japan.
Mm-hmm. I really, one of my favorite little subjects, like rabbit holes to go down on YouTube that I like watching videos about is nuclear bombs. It just because I like watching those channels that just upload like the archive footage of all the different like test blasts. That shit's crazy.
Well, that's why Russia doesn't want Ukraine to be a part of NATO.
Yeah, because then they'll have nukes right on their border pointing at them.
Mm-hmm. There goes. I don't want people to be able to retaliate if I do anything nuts.
That means that their enemies would be right there on their border, ready to invade. And right now they've got a nice little buffer. But
they're civilians.
Do you know about the Tsar bomb?
The Tsar bomb.
Tsar bomba. It's the biggest nuke ever blown up that Russia did.
You know about white phosphorus?
Oh, I know about white phosphorus. I know a thing or two about white phosphorus.
Fun stuff, huh?
Oh, yeah.
We can't use that anymore, can we?
took all the fun out of it. No fair.
I love that there are weapons. We've talked about this before. There are weapons where people too far. It's like when you start doing like a play wrestle and you accidentally, or not accidentally, someone just fucking like knees you in the stomach.
Dude, that's too much.
What the hell, dude?
Too hard.
White phosphorus was the too hard of when was that introduced?
White phosphorus?
Yeah.
World War one of them or one or two.
Yeah, one of those.
They're just like, yeah, this is let's do it. Let's just. So is I mean they use like sarin and
Serengeti?
VX and shit.
Sorry.
Sarin is
serendipity?
They didn't use sarin wrap. They use sarin gas.
Ugh.
I was reading last night about what sarin gas does when you inhale it. Very scary stuff. I would not recommend inhaling sarin gas.
It turns you green.
Yeah. It does a little more than that.
I'm just
gay. Or
but
at least
not
bisexual.
But not like Hulk green, thank God. It's more of like lime green.
I think you're misunderstanding.
Like an alien green.
It turns you green with envy.
Oh.
You just start coveting everything your neighbor has. And it drives you mad.
I thought about going to church, but I'd spent the whole afternoon coveting my neighbor's wife and his goods.
It's a serious problem in today's society.
I was just thinking about how much I wanted my neighbor's things.
I was literally I haven't eaten in 2 days. I haven't slept because I've been sitting here coveting my neighbor's wife and goods.
You're doing 2 of the 10 things you shouldn't be doing. I know.
But I'm not doing gluttony. I'm doing like the opposite of gluttony by not eating, so it balances out a little bit, right?
You're talking about the deadly sins. I'm talking about the 10 Commandments.
Oh, shit. I fucked up.
It's time for you to read up on those 10 Commandments, buddy.
I will be honest, man. I'm kind of coveting your haircut. My hair is just... I'm jealous of your head. I'm coveting your hair.
Look, if we're coming clean about being covetous, then here's a list of all the covetous, greedy bastards that exist in the world, and these are all of them.
Yep.
It's a long list, and there's a separate list as well for the ones that are that there's the regular list of people who covet your belongings,
right,
like your TV, your PlayStation. Then there is the other list who specifically covet thy wife or thy husband.
Or thy cousin.
Or thy cousin.
A lot of you are on there for thy cousin. But if you guys, want to be open and honest and admit to coveting, you can go to patreon.com/supermega and you can become a producer or an executive producer, join our sticker club, and come clean about whatever you covet. It's okay if it's your cousin. We're from South Carolina. No judgment on our end.
Yeah.
I have coveted my cousin before. I just want to be honest.
You've done more than covet. You did more like cup your hand on there.
Under the covers.
You put it right in the 1 in the stink and 3 in the pink.
Pink being the urethra, like it's a penis.
Oh, okay. So they were using what are those tools called?
Sounding rods?
SuperMega supports cousin love. Just kidding.
No, don't cut it out before you said just kidding, because we definitely do.
The Gatorade is poisoning you. Zero. You have to get G2, not the regular Gatorade.
RFK putting out some proclamation on the health.gov website and everything about how it's only drink G2 is okay, but Gatorade.